Committee. We didn't need the government to tell us we needed that, and I challenge every council in New Zealand to have a committee with its tribe. The Whakapapa was set up for a purpose. It was set up to help our mokopuna, to help our tamariki, to help our rangatahi, to help our tāne, and to help our wahine. We will fight for it, and we will fight for against all those policies in the court. I call on all the iwi leaders throughout Aotearoa to come together in unity, because if we do not stand in unity, we will lose this fight. It doesn't matter how big a tribe is, how small a tribe is. In 1975, our kuia whenekupa worked from Northland all the way down to Parliament. And 43 years later, like our parents before us and our ancestors, we are still fighting for our rights. So this is just the beginning of a long, long haul. Let us stay united, let us be strong in kotahitanga, let us find faith and love and peace in everybody. But let's make this Triple K coalition a count for everything that it is doing to our people and pushing us backwards. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou.
Nā mihi kia koutou, tukuna aroha, tukuna mana, mana watu o te Papaioea. Today's a really significant day. It will be the first day of many. On the 24th of November, our coalition government put in policies that can only be described as a colonised wildest dreams. But today, across Aotearoa, we will stand and ensure that our government will hold to account for all the gains in the last decade we as Māori and tangata Tiriti have made. Our Tiriti is not up for debate. It's not a place where you can redefine our principles so it suits you, so it satisfies you, so it puts profit before people. Our Tiriti is not a confusing space. They only posture confusion when they want to exterminate a culture, when they want to take things away from us and continue the decrease and depriving of our people. Today's a remarkable day because up until today there's been a roller coaster of feelings. Feelings of anger, feelings of hurt, feelings of disbelief. But like today, in a few days, we can strategize, organize and mobilize ourselves to ensure that we send a clear message to this government that things that are important to our people across the nation, like coexisting and ensuring that our people aren't represented in inequities. When I think back to what they promised, they've delivered. There's been messages like they're going to exterminate some of our core beliefs. That's exactly what some of these policies are trying to do. How is it that they want to make it easier for us to smoke when they know since 2006, 40% of wahine Māori smoked and today it's 16%. We will see those data and rise when we continue to have policies that don't put the health of our people first. Te Ako Vital was determined so that we could actually thrive and not die 7 years earlier than our tangata Tiriti partners. This government is trying to take this away can only be described as racist. You cannot say that you're with us and then make sure that you take everything that allows us self-determination and then take it away. It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit the things that you stand for. And what I'm really proud about is we've all come to realise that sometimes roles and ministers is not where the power is at, but the collective power of our people is where the mana relies. Today, we have proven that it's the mana of the collective voices that's going to carry us for the next 3 years. That's not to say the next 3 years aren't going to be tough, they will be. They absolutely will be, but it's so important that like today we continue to fight, we continue to advocate for equity, for mana back onto our Tiriti. It's not up for debate. It never was. I was lucky enough to be amongst my people a couple of years ago when we marched for the Māori War here in Manawatu. What an amazing moment. As I look across the crowd, many of you were there with us. Thank you. Stay with us. It's things like the Māori ward and representation in local government that they're trying to take away. But what makes me so proud is in the last 2 weeks, we've got councils across the country that are standing up to what they're proposing. We will now have a Māori ward in Whanganui, and Kapiti, and Central Port Spain, and Opotiki, and Kawerau, and Lower Central Hut, and Thames. Because we all know that it is important that we sit at the table. We should do more than sit at the table. We should be eating at the table. But like most times, we're the first ones to manaki and the last ones to eat. I think one of the things that really just inspires me today, that puts the riri and the mamai at bay, is just how beautiful we can come together to mobilise and ensure that we continue this trajectory of pushing our country forward. We weren't meant to go back to the Ice Age or Jurassic Park decades and undo decades and decades of mahi and work. We were meant to progress. It was meant to be a space where we had mokopuna decisions. Sadly, this government is putting us in a position where it will be mokopuna justice. So what I will say to all you today, when it comes to the spaces that you work in, when it comes to the spaces that you live in, whether you're on the marae's, ahipa, you work in the education sector, you work in the health sector, you work in local government, no matter where you work, indigenize our space. To our tangata Tiriti partners that are here today supporting us, thank you for being brave. Thank you for standing beside us. We also need you in this waka. We will always need to coexist together. Lastly, I just want to acknowledge that today is an inheritance day. We've inherited the motivation of our tupuna, of our parents, of our grandparents. But today is also when I look around the room as whā rangatahi, we're going to fight for the future that you deserve. So maybe kia koutou.